Hello everyone and welcome back to Kinkoi, Ria's Route, where we can see the subject matter right here. It's like a zoo display.
No, if it was like a legit zoo display, she'd just be sitting there smoking.
That's her natural habitat. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Oh, that means she's been taken out of her natural habitat by being forced off the roof.
Boo.
Oh, that's sad. Anyway, so Maria. Childhood friend, delinquent, neighbor. Okay, now this is sounding like a zoo display.
That or like the Pokedex.
Ah.
For her.
Soma is seen from above. It gets worse, okay. Appearance, cute. Personality, questionable.
What's her type?
Dark. That covered all of the personal data I had on Ria. Maybe dark poison.
Okay, he needs to catch her because he clearly doesn't have enough data.
I really shouldn't say this, but she was an iffy person to fall for. She was cute, though. But she was also violent, disorderly, had a foul mouth, and cynical. I mean, we kind of matched that. We've got foul mouths, we're cynical. We're not violent, though, so that's something.
Mm-hmm.
Yet. The cynical part applied equally to me, so there was no helping that.
Oh, good, he's at least somewhat self-aware.
I know. But from a womanly standpoint, there was nothing to compliment but her looks. Ow. I bet nobody but me would fall for her. Sylvie was a Soma-kun supporter, for that matter. Why? What?
Now I'm just imagining like a supporter stand like for a football match, except the only person there is Sylvie.
But that's all that matters, because you have Sylvie and then you have like 10,000 black-suited guards. Why had I fallen in love with her? Just maybe. Our childhood really was to blame?
Yeah?
イチってやっぱりシルビーのこと好きなの？
Where did this come from? But, like, hey, she is crazy cute, I guess.
そうだね。
But if I had to guess, she probably likes you, Soma.
はあ？いや、面倒はよく見てるけど。
Dang, you're so lucky. You make it sound like Sylvie's in charge of taking care of you an awful lot.
まあ、仲いい子が行くのが普通だしね。
Why don't you come to me?
性別でしょ。
Jintar?
Is that some sort of alien race from Star Trek?
なんでもない。
Fine then, I won't give up. If I told her I like her, I wonder if I could give her a smooch. Like, you know, foreigners in movies are always quick to give out smooches, right?
イチのそういう正直なとこ好きだよ。
Help me out too, Soma. You aren't interested in Sylvie anyway.
友達としては好きだけど。
So it's our fault that this whole 10-year plan came to be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he literally is just like, hey, can you help me out with Sylvie? And she's like, all right, devoting the next 10 years to this.
All right, this is now my number one reason for being.
Well then, talk me up to Sylvie, would you? She'd be happy if it came from you. It's okay, right? I'm begging you, please.
はあ、ちょっとだけだよ。
All right.
I wish I hadn't remembered this after I fell in love with her. Aw, I was so lame as a kid, and still am.
I was like, yeah, he kind of still is. He's just a different kind of lame.
True story. But no matter when my memory came back to me, Ria was quite different from who she was way in the past. She was meek, kind, and with zero delinquent qualities. What could have happened in these past 10 years? That also piqued my curiosity, but I knew plain as day, no matter how cynical she may be now, just how kind and wonderful a person she was. That portion of her remained to this day. So once my emotions were kicked into gear, I began falling for her more with every passing moment. Tough spot to be in, huh?
Who is he asking? Us?
Yes. I went to visit Ria so we could talk about what had happened yesterday. But she pretended to be out. There were signs that she was around, though. I heard her falling out of bed again, and then cursing.
Ria!
She refused to open the door.
おかけになった電話は電源が入っていないか電波の届かないところに
Well, we know it's not out of range, she's right next door. When I tried her cell, she screened my call the first time, then shut it off the second call onward. It would be tough for me to go see her now that things turned out this way. Even though she was right next door. I decided to have the frozen meals I got for Ria for lunch that afternoon. The selection was random enough, with pilaf, pizza, and what have you. It was surprisingly delicious, just as she had said. You really couldn't make light of the latest selections they had out. Despite everything, none of it impressed me as much as the fried onigiri from yesterday.
オーロ、どっか行くん？
Yeah. Say, do you know any sort of shop around here that has a decent frozen food option?
そうさな。普通にスーパーとかだろうけど、スーパーって一口に言っても冷凍食品の扱いはだいぶ違うよね。
I guess Japanese supermarkets must be a little bit different from ours.
Sorry to have you tag along with me.
いいのさいいのさ。私も考えてたらちょい興味出てきた。
But we're not on your route. We already finished your route.
でもどうした？急に冷凍食品に目覚めた？
It's nothing like that.
I'd like to get a nice assortment together, so that I'd have them on hand the next time I ate with her. Those frozen meals hadn't been awful, but they couldn't begin to hold up to the experience of eating them together with her. I took my sweet time filling up and then making my way home with bags full of frozen meals.
Making my way back home.
With these meals, they are cold and they're melting. When? I saw Ria talking to Jokosaki about something. I tried to call out to her, but she bravely ran away. She ran off.
I'm surprised she didn't just hide behind Jokosaki.
I mean, we had that whole commentary about the size of Jokosaki's butt.
That's true.
Damn it.
喧嘩でもした？
It's nothing like that, actually.
It's the opposite?
間入ろっか？リアちゃんもう慣れてるし。
Like Sputnik. Yeah.
It wouldn't bug me if it were a fight, but if I gave her space now, she was liable to turn headstrong. Turn headstrong? She is headstrong.
Yeah, I was about to say.
My only real option was to force myself into their conversation. That means I must drug them and hide in the closet.
I thought it'd be like, my only real option is to force myself into their conversation. Just bust in, hey, Jogasaki, do you like commoners?
じゃあ、仕事は減らしていくってことで。
That's not a good sign.
頼んだ。引退なんて言わないでちょうだい。今のあなたを演出するのにどれだけ苦労したか。
How dare you be sick? Do you have any idea how much of an inconvenience this is for me?
頼んでねえだろ。勝手にネットに上げたり、勝手に歌姫がどうこう言い出したり。謝る必要性は感じないわね。
You never really do.
I was about to say, you know, I was kind of warming up to Jogasaki a little bit after Reina's route, but this one, not making me feel drawn toward her. I'm kind of coming over to your camp a little bit.
It's hard to say, really, because, like, there was that other thing with Mina.
Yeah.
And Jogasaki was clearly protective of Ria.
True.
But then now, so it's like, it's one of those things that I do think underneath she does have a softer side. It's just, I don't think she shows anyone, not even her close friends.
You're probably right. This is probably mostly facade.
Yeah, it's like, she just has that Sun exterior.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why and they have to do it that way, right? Because otherwise, I'm just not, like, she can't be a good character. You know what I mean? Like, I'm never gonna like her otherwise.
That's a fair point. She's like a Tsundere Patch Kid.
Yeah.
まあ、おかげで誰かさんのピアノに名前負けしないから気が楽だけどさ。即引退とは言わないけど、減らすは減らすぞ。そろそろ限界だと思う。やめてよ。あなたは私の商品よ。勝手にやめられちゃ困る。はいはい。それと、昼、市松さんと何か変じゃなかった？何にもねえよ、うるせえな。そう。ま、変も何も、あんな庶民とは仲良くしても欲しくないんだけど。
We don't want to be friendly with you either. Oh wait, we were supposed to be listening in.
それと。
I do like the way that's worded, though.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like, wait, do you mean a commoner like him or a commoner like him?
準備をしておいて。
Yes.
Ooh.
Oof.
Yeah, so it's all confirmed at this point,
Yeah,
right?
Pretty much. I think it's exactly what we were expecting, unfortunately. Damn. The Veil of Darkness. It always welcomed me into its comfortable embrace. This was the only darkness in this entire, largely pitch-blacked world that I found comforting. Whenever I closed my eyes, I found myself in a space composed of nothing else but darkness. I really must have been a person who erred on this side, one who was at peace while her eyes were closed. That had to be exactly why I fell in love with Sylvie. That girl whose golden hair suited so well. That golden girl.
ねえ、シルビー。
I was both happy and sad that Ichi had fallen in love with her.
イチのこと、どう思ってる？イチですか？
I thought it would be wonderful if the two of them became lovers.
大好きですよ。ちょっと声が大きくて怖い時あるですけど。うるさいのは我慢してあげて、そのうち慣れるから。
But doesn't that also imply that we would eat our young?
Yes.
嫌いじゃないよね。もちろん、大好きです。そう。
Thank goodness. Now, if only those two could find happiness together, then I wouldn't need anything more. I could return to the darkness. I would have no lingering attachments to that golden color. Not if those two could be happy.
シルビー？私はいつも好きですけど、相馬くんのことも大好きです。いつも相馬くんも一緒じゃなきゃ嫌です。
Please don't say things like that, Sylvie. I'm scared. I'm terrified of returning to the darkness. I beg you, Sylvie, please don't pray for that outcome. I'm happy how things are. Please. Don't love me any more than this. Okay, so that's why she trimmed her hair. The next day came, but I still couldn't see Ria. She was right next door, too. But even if she was right beside me, there was no response to my knock.
Ria.
She wouldn't reply when I called to her either. Sunday had finally come, but I couldn't work up the motivation to do anything unless I made everything right with Ria. I tumbled over into bed. Why did she run away? Was kissing me that bad?
Probably.
I was pretty confident we both felt the same way about it, too. Ugh. The Sandman was going to get me if I kept this up. Wait, like...
Immediately. We thought of two different Sandmans, neither one was that. For the record, which Sandman did you think of?
I was thinking comic book Sandman.
Yep.
Oh.
Yep, knew you did.
Okay. Which Sandman were you thinking?
ECW Sandman.
Oh, yeah, no, different Sandman. Sandman?
Yep. Sandsman?
Do we just need to be playing Enter Sandman this entire time?
Aww.
Copyright
That
strike.
would be...
Or
I was
claim.
about to say, that would be great for about 5 seconds.
And it wasn't even noontime yet. Oh well. I closed my eyes. We had the day off today, so I may as well take a quick nap.
Like an Abra.
Oh, wait, don't Abras sleep like 20 hours a day?
Yes, they do.
And they can teleport while sleeping. Impressive. If I tried hard enough, then maybe I too could figure out how to teleport while sleeping. Then maybe I could figure out how she felt when snoozing the day away and skipping school all the time. Just maybe. I would remember just a little about her. The number you are dialing is no longer in service. Please hang up and I woke up. Night sweats. No, it wasn't that bad.
Oh, I dreamed the phone was off.
My heart was pounding, though. A dream? Did I have a dream? I wasn't sure. I couldn't remember. All I knew was that I had remembered something horrendous, and that sole impression lingered in my heart. What in the world was that just now? It was...
No.
Out of nowhere, I heard what sounded like a chair shifting and screeching across the floor. A sound indicating that Ria was home. The irony that she was there, but I couldn't see her, made my chest tight. Damn it. I wanted to see Ria. Maybe it'd be better if I brute forced my way in like Mina-chan had before?
1111. No? 1112.
Damn. No, you wouldn't call that meeting someone. Even if I got to see her face, it was pointless since we'd never have a decent conversation. If I wanted to talk to Ria... If I wanted to talk... That was when I finally realized something. I lifted my head. Yeah, there was no need to worry. If I wanted to meet up with Ria...
Hey, Ria.
I faced the wall and spoke, in a more sentimental tone than usual.
Thanks.
I know, always with the after does he tell us this. No reply. But she was definitely on the other side. That was all I needed.
Yeah, let's go see the sunset. The rooftop may be a no-go, but you know where should work. I'll head out first and wait for you.
No reply. I said my piece and headed outside. That was right. This had always been enough. A one-sided request was all it took. All that was left was to wait. I just had to wait for those sharp ears. It was kind of chilly. Well, I had dressed warmly, so I'd be fine. Time to be patient. Really patient. I told her, let's watch the sunset, but the sun had already gone completely down. Man, she was late. Oh well, she was a girl, so I'd better forgive her. Patience made you a decent man, after all. I probably would have been upset in the past, though. If the roles were reversed, I'd be annoyed if a guy kept me waiting. But when it was for a girl, the time you spent waiting wasn't so awful. Since it was for a girl. Since it was the girl I had fallen in love with.
You're late.
うるせえ。一応来たは来たぞ。でも、夕日はもう沈んだな。残念残念。
I say now that's pretty much what we said, and that's why we're a good pair.
じゃあ、また今度。
Rude.
Hang on. Don't act that way after you kept me waiting 3 hours out in the cold. I'm practically a human popsicle.
Okay, are we Corbin Dallas now?
知らねえよ。
At least come to dinner with me.
We can have frozen food. It'll match my current state of being.
は？
I ignored that look she gave me and opened up the bag I brought with me. I had a simple gas burner and kettle inside. That, tinfoil, and...
焼きおにぎり？
The one you gave me before was delicious, so I got hooked.
I bought a new package yesterday.
Did you know they say frozen meals are an ideal camp food?
Do they? First time I've heard it, but okay.
I was about to say, I don't think they do.
知らない。
Although the manufacturer may not agree, camping enthusiasts found a way to prepare this kind of thing outdoors. It should be safe to eat as long as it's cooked.
That's why I brought this meat thermometer, just in case. This was a method I found after doing a bunch of research about frozen food online.
I'd imagine it'd taste better if prepared at home. But doesn't this suit the two of us better?
たく。
Seemingly defeated, her expression softened and she walked toward me. We used a tree that happened to have fallen over as a seat and sat down next to each other. I lit the burner and set up the kettle, as it'd be bad to use direct heat. I placed a net over it and then put the fried onigiri wrapped in tinfoil on top.
この方法だと別に冷凍食品のやつを使う必要はないよな。
Yeah, I mean, it'd probably make more sense to cook ordinary onigiri.
But this is Oroneri onigiri. It was originally intended to be microwaved, so going out of your way to make it on an open flame was kind of getting your priorities backwards.
He makes that pun and she just throws him in the lake.
Fitting.
It's fine, right? Seasoning and whatnot would be a pain.
ま、味付けはメーカー様に頼った方がうまいもんできるか。
I winked the timing and heated it up enough that it didn't burn.
いただきます。
Here, miso soup.
サンキュー。あれ？白だし？焼きおにぎりには赤だろうが。
I ran out of red. As if I care about hang-ups like that.
We shared a meal together. It was surprising things that had returned to normal so quickly over something as simple as fried onigiri. How weird. I'd given up just a few hours before, knowing I couldn't see her even if I wanted to. Once we met up, we went back to being our usual selves. I'd venture a guess that was just how childhood friends worked. This had to be the way Ria and I were meant to be.
Hey, Ria,
あ？
do you like me?
Well, you can finish chewing and swallow before you answer. She spat it out.
なんだそれお前急に。
Oh, sorry. That was a bit much all at once, huh?
Gotta take smaller bites.
But you did like me, right?
帰っていいか。
Don't run away. If you run off now, I'll call out to you in front of your door. I'll say, you love me, in front of all the boarders.
We're just going to take the say anything approach.
What's funny is because of how boisterous he was when he was a kid, there's no way she doesn't believe him.
Oh, he absolutely would do it now, even if she didn't know him. But yes, it's not an idle threat. No way that wouldn't be embarrassing. Ria gnashed her teeth. She set down the mug full of miso soup.
It's fine if it's in the past tense, just tell me.
やだ。
Talk about dishonest.
I wanted to confirm if that's true since, to be honest, I already knew the answer. I noticed ever since we were little, Soma loves me. I assumed we were both guys back then, so I never imagined in that sense, but it's obvious when I look back now.
She had to have had her reasons for listening to whatever I told her. Soma loved me, I loved Sylvie, and Sylvie loved Soma, who she mistook for a guy. Our fault? I believed our little love triangle helped the three of us grow even closer over that short time we were together during summer camp.
はいはい、好きだったよ。
Heh, you liked us. Annoyed, she quickly nodded her head and faced away. Knew it. Exactly as I expected.
昔はな。今は違うぞ。調子乗んな。
Oh? This wasn't what I expected.
You don't need more?
違うに決まってんだろ。ガキの頃はガキの頃で、今は今だよ。
Her face was bright red.
You're right on both points. And you know what? When we were kids, I had no interest in Soma whatsoever.
Oh, here comes the confession.
I thought you were a guy friend, not like I could help it. I had no interest in Soma.
But
right now I love Ria.
there it is. Good confession.
Mm-hmm. Yep, he had the lead in and everything. That was very good.
I know. Very artfully done.
そう。
Really?
Perhaps those words came out of my mouth unexpectedly easily. Because a certain princess who said I love you like it was her first catchphrase had rubbed off on me. I had sorted through my feelings in these past 2 days.
I love you, Ria.
何回も言うな。
Sorry.
I doubted she was any good at stuff like this. I shouldn't tell her over and over. I should show it. My feelings were enough. I kissed her.
Is that like him out of breath now?
I don't know, because honestly, what I first thought of is him just going, foo-ha-ha!
Yeah.
Even though I know that's not it.
I thought of like, ooh, except foo,
I like yours better. Ria accepted it without running. It wasn't forceful like the other day, more of a peck. But it still took our breaths away. It's a heck of a peck. My goal was to overwrite how awkwardly things had ended before. Good. Overwrite complete. And I obliterated any aversion I felt to kissing along with it.
Didn't we do this the other day?
したけど。
No big deal, right?
She looked mortified, but didn't argue the point. She was so cute.
And heck, if I really, really think back...
I might be able to remember one thing.
Weren't you the one who kissed me last time?
We both leaned into it, to be precise. There wasn't enough of a difference to say either of us had made the first move. But when our faces drew close, she was the first to close her eyes, if nothing else. She was the first to initiate a kiss.
はいはい、悪うござんした。
Don't apologize, it made me super happy.
あれは映画で流されたんだよ、映画に。
Ah, but it's the second time we've seen it, so that's not a great excuse. Didn't sound like she could come up with an excuse. She was angrily trying to downplay what happened. I didn't mean to push her either. I leaned in. The perfect distance for another kiss. Ria didn't run. Smooch. And our lips met like second nature.
I'll say this again, Ria. I love you. How do you feel?
This was the important part. Who cared about the past or who kissed who? What was important was how she felt now. I was in love with Ria. These next moments would determine how Ria felt. Although, given that we safely shared 2 kisses, I went in assuming that this would all work out for the best.
Duh.
Not exactly the response we were hoping for. Ria stood up and distanced herself from me.
どうでもいい。どうでもいいわ、そんなお前の好きとか。お前が俺を好きとか。どうでもいい。
What did she mean it didn't matter? If she didn't love me, she should just say so. If she wasn't going to say it, I wasn't going to give up.
Ria. I love you. That's all I wanted to say, but I would like an answer. I don't want anything else. Do you love me?
Ria's expression skewed. What the heck? Why did she make that face? Why did she look like she was about to cry?
好きだよ。
Normally I'd be really
好きだよ。
happy right now in a route,
Yeah.
but
You-
we all know what's coming next.
Yeah, there's... This is about to hurt, I think. I don't know if it's going to hurt right now or if she's going to put off saying something. I just...
I don't know. The biggest question for me is how this ends.
Yeah.
Because I genuinely don't know. Like, we both know what's coming next.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm assuming it's cancer or something like that.
It has to be. It has to be some sort of serious illness.
Which would explain the head thing because it's a wig.
Right.
Because I would assume because of chemotherapy.
Right, or radiation.
Yeah. So my big question is, this route can only end 2 ways.
Right.
Either everything goes well, chemotherapy or whatever works,
Yeah.
she's good, or she dies at the end of this game. These are the only 2 ways this can work.
Yeah. You're right. I don't know. I really don't know.
I'm hoping, because the rest of the game has been like this is such a weird thing, because the entire game up until this point is comedy, and then
I swear to God, if this
like-
turns into Glenade, I'm gonna be so mad.
and then you've got this route. So I'm hoping, because of the tone that's been set,
It'll
it's
balance
like,
out.
look, yeah, it does get better, you know what I mean, in this
Yeah.
route. Like, it's like,
I don't
oh,
know.
it does have a happy ending, I hope.
I just don't know.
ずっと大好きだった。初恋だった。初めて人を好きになってずっと好きだった。お前がシルビーを好きでも諦められなかった。10年間離れてても忘れられなかった。
Oh, that makes it so much worse. So she came up with that plan in spite of how she felt. Ah.
It also makes me wonder, like, does that mean canonically in the Sylvie timeline that yes, her entire plan worked, but she still had the feelings for us?
Probably. But we had no idea.
再会したあの時も屋上で抱きつきたかった。すぐに俺だって言いたかった。寝てるお前見てキスしようかなって5回くらい迷った。大好きだ。昔も今も昔から今までずっと全部好きだ。
Her somber voice echoed across the lake. Why had she said it that way? I didn't know. But what she had told me was...
Ria, then
寄るな!
No.
She ran away. Why?
来るな! こっち、来ないで。好きだよ。認めた。もう言っただろ。それ以上望まないっつったじゃん。じゃあもういいだろ。こっち、来ないで。
Massive teardrops fell from her eyes. It was true I couldn't ask for anything more after what she had told me.
Ria.
I couldn't ask. But I also couldn't let it all end after I'd seen these tears.
くそなんで
Ria violently rubbed the corners of her eyes dry.
やっぱり会わなきゃよかった。お前にもシルビーにも。会っても認めなきゃよかったんだ。俺なんてもういない。そう言ってればよかった。もう、10年も前にいなくなってれば。
Ria?
What was she saying? Why was she crying? The only way I felt about her was...
くそ
Hey, Ria, that directions.
Ria's eyes must have been too watery to see, and she staggered her way toward the lake. It was currently high tide. The shore was damp.
俺、何度も。
Even then, Ria didn't stop.
二人を泣かせてばっかりで。
Oh. Okay. It was a matter of time before she fell in. Why didn't I act sooner? I headed for the shore, the bottoms of my feet icy. Ria somehow floated to the surface. Could I get her out? She needed something to grab onto. A flurry of thoughts raced through my mind. But this predicament was worse than I had imagined.
Huh? Ria!
Verbal. Ria surfaced for a second, but in the next moment her whole body went flaccid. She was drowning. No, she had lost consciousness. Her limp body bobbed helplessly in the water.
Ria!
I dove in after her.
Yeah.
Oh, so cold. The frigid December weather was nothing short of intense. My body heat was snatched from every point of contact. I was freezing. The cold water was painful. It was agonizing. When I fell in 10 years ago, hadn't it been August? The water was practically comfortable back then. But now... This was so intense, I'd lose consciousness if not for this sense of responsibility I felt. Next to Ria's tiny frame, I was able to pull her out of the icy lake with ease.
You know, I was about to say the one good thing is that she weighs like 4 pounds.
Soaking wet.
So at least he can drag her out.
True.
Ria, you alright?
No response. She was unconscious. She had fainted.
Don't be mad.
I put a hand against her mouth, turned my head sideways, and put it against her chest. Her heart. I could hear it. She was breathing, too. Oh, thank goodness. It wasn't so cold that I had given her a heart attack or anything.
Cool.
It wasn't the worst case scenario, but it was still terrible. I carried Ria over my shoulder.
Call the hospital.
どうしたオロ？ずぶ濡れじゃありませんの。
Never mind that. Call an ambulance. Where's the closest hospital here?
リアちゃんどうしたの？
Never mind. Hospital.
Yeah, I was about to say, when somebody tells you to call a hospital, you call the frickin' hospital.
By the way, if anyone's listening, yeah, if somebody's like, hey, I need you to call the hospital, call it immediately and then ask the questions. Don't do it the other way around.
Yeah, time is usually of the essence in these situations. Even ignoring that we were soaking wet, the foyer flew into an instant panic when they saw Ria was unconscious. Reina,
But incidentally, they would have also flown into a panic if they had seen Ria at all.
True. It would have just been a different kind of panic.
Mm-hmm.
Reina, who had shouted first, somehow managed to work her phone and call for an ambulance, but...
Ria!
Someone else came rushing over first. Her face went pale when she saw Ria's condition, and when she saw that we were both soaked head to toe, she shot me a bloodthirsty look.
ねえ、オーロ、怪我人か病人か教えろって。あと、この場所の責任者がどうとか。
But before even that, Reina intervened, panicked from her first 119 call.
救急車はいいわ。
What, do you have a faster way? Jokosaki gave up on attacking me and rushed into the cafe attached to the foyer.
緊急です。車をお願いします。はい。
The clerk put up their apron and rushed out as well.
私の知っている病院へ連れて行きます。どなたかしばらく開けるのでカフェをお願いします。およ。
Jokosaki was a reliable person, so she started giving precise instructions. She wrapped Ria up in a blanket she had brought out and held her in her arms.
あなた、怪我は？
No, I'm not.
そう。平気なようならシャワーを浴びてきなさい。風邪をひいても同情されないわ。リアは任せて。
Not our fault. Kind of our fault. She got into the car she called for.
何事？
Reina ended the long emergency phone call filled with nothing but questions. I may have taken on the role of hero spur of the moment, but compared to someone like me with zero knowledge of emergency treatment, hospitals or otherwise, Jokosaki was way more reliable and seemed to know how to get a handle on things. Wait, but hang on, but the heat stroke thing though?
He knows one emergency treatment. He has one knowledge of emergency treatment.
Okay, so his weakness is ice.
Yes.
He's a grass type. Got it.
I will say, at least nobody likes Jokosaki less than me.
True story.
But in this situation, her being really bossy and commanding actually is a good thing.
Very true. Yeah, she handled that pretty even keel, even though she did have enough time to look at us like she was going to murder us, but she didn't.
That's just how she normally looks at us, I imagine.
Now, this was like advanced murder, death, kill. Thank goodness she was here.
I'm glad you had that line and not me.
All that left was to believe in the hospital she said she was familiar with. The day had started off hectic and ended horribly. Things were starting to go so well between me and Ria, too. Had she really fainted because the water was too cold? It definitely was chilly enough to knock you out cold. Something worried me more than that. Before she fell into the lake, Ria had been panicking for some reason. She said she loved me, right? She said she loved me, and yet... why had she been crying? Well, This looks like it's going to be a bit of a cliffhanger episode.
Oh,
man.
yeah.
In terms of confessions, definitely not the best.
We've had better. We've had better.
Yeah, we've had better in this game. I was thinking, I can understand the reaction of trying to push Ouro away, but I was not expecting her to go all Ophelia on us.
No, not at all. By the way, someone let me know in the comments legit, because I realized we've done a weird order of the route anyway, and then we skipped
Ellison
and side
Akane.
route. And are either of those as dramatic and emotional as this, or are they just the two before?
I feel like there's almost no chance that Akane's route is this dramatic.
That's fair. It'd be weird if it was, though.
And, I mean, maybe with Ella there was some drama. I mean, considering the whole ended up in a weird Night Guardian situation because her sister is in the royal family because of political reasons and all of that complicated stuff. So I could see there being some interesting things there. But not related to this. Or on the same scale.
This seems very different. I'll have to look, but I really wonder if somebody else wrote this as compared to the rest of the stories.
I don't necessarily know if the writer was different, but it's just a really interesting situation that all of it kind of bases. I feel like a lot of the other routes are corner pieces, maybe to the puzzle, and you think it's bright and cheery puzzle, but then you're getting all the centerpieces in this route, and it's like, holy crap, this is a monster that we've been constructing this whole time.
Yeah, like, none of it is what I thought it would be.
No, it is not. And I know we touched on that a couple of episodes ago, being like, oh, this is such a reprieve from Cafe Stella. And it's like, wow, okay, never mind.
Yeah, it again, like, I legitimately did not see this coming.
No.
Like, in terms of the themes, the drama, none of it.
Well, okay, no, to some degree we saw a little. We saw a tiny iota of it coming. It's like, all right, that French movie has to be a prelude to something.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like, okay, we had our theories about why is Ria going to retire? And it was like, is she sick? But this kind of elevates things to a scale we really weren't prepared for. That's just kind of our ongoing theme in this, in case you haven't picked up on it already. We were not ready for this. But I hope you all are enjoying our reactions to this, because
I hope you're enjoying this, and I hope, there's less comedy in these episodes than there normally is. Less
other than what
witty banter. We try and keep it as up as we can, but it's, definitely dealing with some stuff.
Yeah, but we also don't want to, ham-fist it in there either. But thank you all so much for watching. We hope you've enjoyed it, and we hope to see you in the next one where we figure out if Ria's gonna be okay. I really hope so. But for now, we are the Bridge Boys, signing off.